Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So to start our session this afternoon, we will do a 20-minute meditation. We usually do this for 30 minutes, but since we have several first-timers or beginners, we will shorten it by 10 minutes. And since we are also restricted by time, we need to modify a bit the use of time this afternoon because I should be on the road again latest 5 o'clock so I can navigate the more tricky parts of the journey while the fog hasn't descended yet. And it's easy to drive in the dark, but it's more difficult when you drive through foggy, dark road. So we will start this afternoon's activity with a quick 20-minute meditation. So if I may ask you to find your spot and settle down quickly. And while seated, just set everything aside. Nothing strapped around your bodies. Your feet flat on the floor, your hands on your lap. And gently close your eyes so you can shut out or leave outside all distractions, visual and mental. And breathe normally. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Let not the stresses and tensions, the worries and plans of the day get in the way. Simply breathe in the peace, the rest, the serenity, the gentleness only the Spirit gives and brings. If a thought or image comes along, dismiss them right away and stay focused and attentive to the now. And to help you stay focused and attentive to the now, to the present, in silence, stillness, and simplicity, you need a word. And the word recommended is Maranatha. Ma-ra-na-tha. Repeat this word in your heart, slowly, gently, in 4 syllables of equal length. Ma-ra-na-tha. No thinking, no feelings, no plans, no expectations. Simply zero in on this word. Heavenly Father, open our hearts to the silent presence of the Spirit of your Son. Lead us into that mysterious silence where your love is revealed to all who call. Ma-ra-na-tha. Come, Lord. Come, Lord Jesus. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Good afternoon again. Do you need to run to the toilet quickly? Okay, go ahead. I promised sometime last year that every first month of a quarter, we will dedicate our formation to orientation. And January is the first month of the first quarter of the year. So the next orientation session will be the first month of the second quarter. And abin ako din ito sangko sa first month we were supposed to meet last Sunday, but because of some unforeseen circumstance, I was not able to make it last Sunday. So I really insisted on rescheduling it to this Sunday. Otherwise, we'd miss the orientation of this particular quarter. And what I will take up with you this afternoon is really not something for the beginners only, but this also serves as a review for those who are already practicing Christian meditation. So this is just some kind of a review, a refamiliarization for those who are already meditating regularly. It's a refamiliarization, a recalibration, and probably a reminder, just in case you have forgotten the key points in the practice of daily Christian meditation. And since most of us here are really first timers and beginners, it might be good to have a really quick review of what meditation is all about. The most important thing about meditation is how to meditate. The most important thing about meditation is how to meditate. And when we speak of how, we normally mean process, sequence, procedure. But even more important than the how is the interior component, which is the why. The how refers to the process, to the sequence, to the procedure. But more important than the how is the why, which is the interior component of meditation. You can only mention the how and why if you are convinced you need to meditate. Whatever answer we provide for the how and why will only makes sense to you if deep down you really need to meditate. You really feel meditation is the way of prayer for you. It is important that there is a regular time and place. In meditation, time and place come or matter. Time and place count and matter. A time you can set aside and a place you can visit every day. So in choosing time and place, you need to be realistic. You need to be realistic. Meaning to say, what really works for you? You need discipline and you need a structure. And somehow, regular time and place would answer this requirement. We can speak about the other places you can meditate when you have the habit of meditating at a certain place and time. Because people can always say, well, I can meditate anywhere. You can do that, or you can reason out that way if you have already developed the habit of meditating every day in a particular place. So if you have been habitually meditating every day in a given place at a given time, definitely you can meditate anywhere. You can meditate on Mount Everest if you want. You can meditate on Mount Apo. You can even meditate in an airplane or while waiting for your turn in a dentist's office. Or probably you're just sitting idly. You can meditate. It's possible to meditate. It's possible to meditate at any given place if you have been habitually meditating in a given place every day. So choose a place that is quiet enough. We need external silence to achieve internal silence. In that quiet place, you will be able to arrive at a quiet space within. So we need a quiet space external to us. We need an external quiet space to be able to claim our quiet space within it. So aside from place and time, posture is also important. Posture is also important. If you were attentive at the beginning of our meditation, I suggested that you sit up with your spine upright and erect. It's good to sit up straight. Do not slouch. Do not slouch. Because it is a lazy position. And chances are, when you slouch, you will fall asleep. So posture is also very important. How you sit will determine not so much the success, but the meaning you will derive from your meditation. The meaning, the intensity, even the satisfaction. So it's important that you are properly seated. You can sit down on the floor or in a chair, but you must keep your spine erect. At home, you can even sit on your bed, but do not lie down. And in fact, I don't recommend sitting on your bed because we know ourselves. When we hit the bed with a fluffy pillow next to you, you know what happens next. It's so easy to grab that pillow and rest your head, even if you say 5 minutes lang naman. That 5 minutes might end up might you might end up sleeping for 50 minutes. So I'd rather that you avoid places or a position that is too comfortable that you might end up dozing off. To meditate, after we have considered place, time, posture, you need a word. To meditate, you need a word. And this is what we call a mantra. This mantra is a sacred word. It is a love word. And the word our teacher, January, recommends is Maranatha. Maranatha. Maranatha is a Hebrew word in the Aramaic dialect. So, Maranatha is a Hebrew word found in the Aramaic dialect. And Jesus spoke Aramaic. And Jesus would have used this word, this invocation. In English, this Aramaic word simply means, come, Lord. Come, Lord. Of course, when you are meditating, you don't translate it in English. You just repeat the word in its original Aramaic. So while meditating, do not do a mental translation. So just say the word as it is. A foreign language, a foreign word, something we are not familiar with. And this Aramaic word is found in St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, and also in the book of Revelation. And so Maranatha is a very ancient prayer in the Christian Bible. And we know that the oldest book in the Christian Bible were the books written by St. Paul. So Maranatha, being found in the Pauline writing, is an ancient Christian prayer. It is an ancient Christian invocation. So repeat this word in your heart and listen to it as a song. So when you are reciting, when you are repeating this word, do not move your lips. Simply sound it in your heart. Ma, ra. Just repeat it over and over during the time of meditation. In meditation, aside from place, posture, the mantra, aside from place, posture, and the mantra, you need to develop frequency. So aside from place, posture, mantra, you need to develop frequency. Meaning to say, you need to develop, you need to commit yourself to meditating every day. It's not enough that you have a place. It's not enough that you are able to sit properly. It's not enough that you understand the purpose of the mantra. You need to have frequency. Meaning to say, you have to meditate morning and evening, every day. Morning and evening, every day. You are free to choose what is the best time in the morning to meditate. You have to choose for yourself what is the best time to meditate in the second half of the day, either late afternoon or early evening. You cannot meditate when you are inclined to or inspired to. You're inspired to meditate, you meditate. You feel like meditating, you meditate. Whatever your mood, you need to meditate. You don't only meditate when you feel like doing it, when you are in the mood for it. So, in the mood for it or not, when the time comes around, when the hour comes around for you to meditate, drop everything and go meditate. That is why it is important that you are realistic about your time slot. Do not meditate when you know this particular hour or half hour really is the busiest time of the day. Because chances are you will not be able to meditate. So you have to be realistic. Use the time that can be the honored space, the honored slot, the honored moment for meditation. So you have to be realistic. Because if you only meditate according to your mood, according to your feelings, or how you feel in the moment, you are not yet a meditator. You are just playing with it. You are just playing with it. You are not really committed to it. So you need to dip your hands, bend your knees, fold your arms twice a day. Because less than this, you are merely dabbling with it. Less than this, you are merely dabbling with it. So you really have to dip your hands, bend your knees, fold your arms twice a day. In other words, it is work. It is work. It cannot just be something that is fashionable today and you go for it. When it's no longer trending for you, a month from today, you forget about it. No, it's something beyond trend and fashion. Because meditation is a way of living. It is a way of being. In meditation, the essential thing is to be faithful to the mantra. You have to be faithful to the mantra. Whether you are distracted or not, consoled or not, say the mantra from beginning to end. And the specific time is 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the ideal measure for each meditation period. For beginners, you can start with 5 or 10 because going 30 might discourage you. Going 30 immediately might be discouraging. So again, be realistic. Start small. Start small. A baby, before he or she can completely walk, need to crawl and slowly look for something he or she can hold on so he or she can stand. And from there, he begins to walk. In meditation, we start small. Start with 10 minutes. Maybe do it for a month. And then add another 10 minutes. Do it for a month. And before you know it, you are hitting the 30-minute goal. So start small, but do it every day. You need frequency, to develop mastery, rather familiarity with the discipline until you have mastered the art of sitting, breathing, and timing. I suggest that you don't meditate after a heavy meal. Do not meditate after a heavy meal. Heavy meal. Why? Because it will be difficult to concentrate. It will be very difficult to concentrate. And if while meditating you get distracted, something comes to your mind, you suddenly recall someone, you suddenly realize you need to accomplish something, simply ignore these distractions and pick up your word again. Because your word, your mantra, will serve as your flotation device so that you will not drown in the deluge of ideas. Because when we are trying to be silent, it is also one time when ideas come marching on, come marching in. And if we are not, if we have nothing to anchor our attention and focus on, we can easily be swept away by this current of thoughts, images, ideas, what we call distractions. I know you're probably thinking, where will I be after this? Or what will happen to my life? Or how will I be able to improve myself? Or will there be improvements in my life if I meditate? Or what will I get out of this? In other words, it's typical of us to be concerned with results. What will I get out of this? In meditation, we are not after results. We can talk about results after we have practiced it. For now, just practice. Practice first. Then we can talk about results later. Because the ultimate result in meditation, the ultimate thing, the ultimate good thing that will happen to you in meditation is to experience the growth of the fruits of the Spirit in your life. To experience the fruits of the Spirit growing abundantly in your life. And what are the fruits of the Spirit? Love, joy, gentleness, endurance, patience, humility. These are the fruits that you will see growing abundantly in your life. Okay? Do you have questions after this quick and brief profiling of what meditation really is from the how and why aspects of it? The how, the external dimension, and the why, the interior component. Do you have any questions? Or how did you feel during meditation this afternoon when we started? That is for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, or probably for those of you who have just meditated quite a few times before this. Joy. Layo naman ka nila, lalahin mo ka. Gusto pa mo ko dito para hindi ako magtuyok-tuyok. Any simple feedback, any simple, any honest reaction to what we did this afternoon from any of you. Wala napasa po si Joy no? Sa atong meditation. Or wala na ka na, nakasapot sa
Late
late ka kumain, okay na.
always.
So, pagkatulog ka na, always no late.
And I always nag-meditate.
Always nag-meditate.
Join na siya. Monday, every Monday.
Every Monday. So, katong naka-meditate a few times before, so far, how has it been for you? How has it been for you? There are no wrong answers, huh? Because this is largely your experience, and there is no, your experience will not be invalidated by what I've said, because that is yours, and that is perfectly legitimate, because it is the Spirit who acted in you during that time of meditation, during your time of quiet and silence and stillness. So then,
Parang nagbago mo ko naglaba. So,
bago ka naglaba. So,
medyo
kinuha na
tired
mo ito, ano?
tired ba? Medyo
Okay.
tired ko. And then nag-breakfast food, nag-late lunch food ko, past 1 na. So, distracted na akong mind. So,
Nakagawa ko na kamay.
medyo
Parehas na pa. Ako
nakatulog ko ah.
nakatulog ko din yan. Hindi ka naman ko nag-drive.
And then, nagamara na ako. Pero ginabutangan ka mo English, ka Lord Jesus. So, nagamara na sa pang Lord yan. Lupa na pero kung ako niya.
So just limit it to Maranatha. So, and ayun lang papapilit English para mas simple. Because the simpler the mantra, the better. So that you're able to immediately focus on, you're immediately able to nail your attention. Importante ang attention and concentration is solid. And limiting it to a simple word, one word, will facilitate capturing your attention or cornering your attention.
And then you mentioned about the heart. Dahil mo akong heart, puro mind lang ka na.
Sige lang. Ayun naman na sa heart. Sige lang. In the beginning, puro man na siya mind work. Puro na siya mind work. But in time, when you have developed the habit, when you have educated the mind, it will ultimately educate the heart. So the repetition, the concentration will ultimately reach the heart, and before you know it, because you have been habitually committed, you have been habitually praying it, saying it, committed to it, the heart will do it for you. Your heart will say the mantra for you. That's why ultimately meditation is called the prayer of the heart. Because it's no longer the work of the mind. It's already the heart that praises you. It is the Spirit already who praises you. And the Spirit is the source and ground of all being.
For me, Father,
Yes.
since I joined the meditation, actually I would like to experience, and I would like also other way of praying, that is meditation. But since I joined, medyo mahirap pa talaga. Marami pang in-how, it's really true na talaga, it's a part for the beginners na medyo mahirap pa. Pero sana.
So you can easily get the hang of it. Start small, start with 10 minutes lang sa
Wala, nag-start kami 30 minutes.
So,
30 minutes
start
kami.
small hours lang sa small
Wala, hindi ako
hours. And then pag na-develop mo na yung habit, familiarity, then you can slowly add.
Ate Ses, 5 minutes, 10 minutes daw, Ate Ses.
Start with 10 minutes.
Yung mga kasama ko.
Okay na siguro kung you are meditating group.
Actually, group
At home,
every
privately,
Monday. Actually, wala pa akong sa bahay.
privately, you try 10 minutes. Because your group meditation will only make sense to you if you are meditating every day. Kung magsalig lang ka sa group meditation, wala kang personal na panitangka, it will not work for you. So, siguro during your group meditation, okay lang ng 30 minutes like group mo. But at home, by yourself, make it 10. That's more, it's doable, it's realistic. But do it every day, twice a day. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes sa hapon, o sa gabi. Start small. And start today. Paulo mo sa balay, this thing 10 minutes.
Medyo mahirap na yun. May disinfection ako this evening. So, medyo late na rin ako magtuloy.
And anyway, whenever you're able to try it,
Yes.
By yourself, do it. Because ayaw na kong salin sa weekly group meditation nyo because it will not really benefit you. It will not really fast track your appreciation of the meditation. So, start small by yourself, but do it every day. And the ideal frequency is twice. About the others, or Marisol.
Ako, I'm proud that natapos ko yung 20 minutes.
Tapos may 20 minutes.
Without having to,
Open
kasi
your
parang
eyes.
mag-start na ako mag-2 minutes na ba? Di ba? Parang, kasi before that, kasi syempre kasi, di ba, pray mag-git tayo sa bahay, di ba? So, may konti kong video quiet time. But, hindi ko alam baka naglupas na ng 30 minutes, di ba? Pero ngayon, that 20 minutes, parang paano ka ba na baka hindi ko makaya. So, because I was starting to, maganda lang is, I was starting to feel that, medyo stiff pala yung dito ko. Diba, may nakaganon pala ako. Yung gano'n ba? Because you're quiet eh. Tapos parang, something about my neck, ba relax. Parang gano'n, di ba, parang ma-identify naman, kamay ko pala dito isa, medyo stiff, no? So parang, it takes a while eh, before mo. So, talagang, kailangan talaga ng panahon. Tapos parang, yung paa ko parang, parang gina-carry pala niya, gano'n ba? Medyo parang nagagano'n. Hindi talaga relax. So, if all the details maglabas pa. So, after yun, sabi ko, duloy naman i-relax naman. Pwede na ako mag-open lang. But then, yun nga, time taken, 20 minutes na tayo. So, siguro if you do it, yun na nga, everyday pala. Pwede everyday, and then one in the morning, one in the afternoon, then
Hindi, kung pwede, everyday yun. If you choose meditation as your way of praying, it really has to be everyday diet. Everyday, daily diet.
sa may commitment na.
Yes.
Commitment. So, I think you will feel much better.
And your observation is very valid. That's what happens when the body is still, when the body is quiet. It tells us a mouthful about itself. When we are quiet, we realize that the body pala is tired. The body pala is burdened. It's carrying away pala. But you see, we hardly hear the body talk to us because we're so busy. So when we are still, when we are silent, when we are quiet, then we get to hear the body talking to us, telling us how tight it is, how stressed it is, how tense it is. Kita mo sa mga joints mo, sa elbow mo, sa leg mo, sa knees, sa legs. It's kanang pain or what discomfort. It's the body talking. It's the body telling you, you need to pay attention.
Because if I did not meditate siguro that long and that intense ba? Kung intense na yun, no? Kasi hindi ko na-meditate, di ba? Baka hindi ko na-sense, kaya I was driving, ganun talaga ang mo, no? Because traffic kanina, and the need to come on time, di ba? May mga ganun sa mga. So, parang meditate na, ito pa, how many minutes, parang stiff ang neck ko. Di ba? Tsaka dito ko parang, I get sense ba? I need to. So, that's good.
O si Becky, share rin si Becky. Kasi wala ko sa nakamask ka mo, mabasa ko yung papa. Wala ka share rin si Becky.
Experience, Father, nung work siya kung isolated ito, hindi sa ba. So, yung difficulty na po is, may mga tao dili ko ka go kay kusog kaayo ang influence sa store once. So, i-try na ako ang 30 minutes. Kay mao man orientation ako 20 to 30 minutes. So, na-reach na ako ang 30 minutes. Ang feeling na ako murag exhausted akong body. Manya na ako yung experience murag gihugot ang hangin sa aba, nakamata ko. Kaya ayun ko, akong reaction na. Nagsulod na siguro sa siguro. Naging habit ko siya na himuon ka. Basta mag-inusara ko. Kaya dili na ako siya nahimo kung daghang tao. Tapos, dire ka na. Sa mag-posted ko ba kay 30 minutes morning. Sa ka nang busy na kaayo makat short na himong 20 minutes. Nag-guilty ko kay himong sariling formula. Lumaki ako gingon. So, sa ma-miss na nako kay sa magsimba. Example, Sunday, I usually do that every morning sa rising. Tapos kung Sunday naman, kay 6:30, cramming ko, pas, ano na ako ang time ba, may pressure na mahuman ako ng 30 minutes kay, nang daghan, go-work kay kung may na. Bigla na ako ikat, balik na po sa Maranata. Kay, focus. Focus ang mag-restore. Kung wala kay focus, i-shortcut nimo. Walang to akong feeling na kung gininood kayo kung meditation ay mura-mura kung buto na hangin, akong lawas na. Gininood kong experience na experience na ko na kapoy. Sakit, nag-stiff tama ko yung naka-experience ko. Ito, sakit lang na ako, pero kung di-experience na, siguro kung nimo na the body is talking to yourself, no? So, ito ang realization. So, sinapit ko niya. Pero nag-try hard ko nga may himuon siya. Nga ang meditation is, puro dito ko ka nang release na ko ang mga kuan, tension na ko, tanan-tanan. Ano man, sleep ko soundly. Nalang po kay, usahay, sayo na po mong mata, wala na po, di na po ma-focus kay ang atong ba yung sleeping kay 8 hours o niya. Gusto 8 hours na niya. Dili na sumunit kung ako ang bihim mo early morning o late evening. Matulog pa kaya murag bakuan ang isip ba nga mag-dilema, matulog, mag-meditate, matulog, mag-meditate. Iha ang moment na i-capture na ko yung time.
Importante ang proper timing. Pili ang oras na dili siya mag-complete sa lain ng tulungan ko. Kaya chances are ang masacrifice sa meditation. Kaya ato ng nag-aanaw mas labo importante ang mga tulungan ko ng mga choice. So do not put meditation alongside something na dili siya mag-complete. Na dili siya makakadaan ng panahon. Para dili ka mag-guilty, hindi ka guilty, wala kayo feeling na nanineglect na siya. So put it, dahil siya paghulit mo yung malila, na dili na siya makibatan. Eh, wala may dahil, wala may reason para makibatan siya, eh wala may siya. So make sure that you live meditation where it belongs, and do not let the other activities encroach, or do not let it encroach in your other activities, because chances are it will not be given priority. So do not choose, ay mahibuan na magkarami na ha. Kaya tanan gusto mo bukato in one limited moment. Everything is squeezed in a very limited space. So you feel guilty, you feel you optimize ang experience, di dali-dali ka ba? And then stressful na noon, and tensionado, and other emotional mga manifestations ang inyong masina. Anything else? Maybe gusto mong share? You're not forced, but if you want to welcome. Pero wala yan, you're not being forced. Si Susan.
I'm trying to do it. I like to do it, pero sometimes because of the stage na nag-adjust ko, then ang realization na ako karoon na need pala na specific time.
Mhm.
Kasi ako, anytime, my own time,
Mhm.
by chance. In the morning, yes, I am awakened sa text, no? Pero, I will not do it immediately. Later pa, tapos muli-muli. And then, minsan mawala na ang time. Because I'm doing also other prayers.
Mhm.
Now, and realization na ako na I need to have the specific time pala. If I don't have that time, I'm not
Yes.
just wala lang.
Sa problema yung kung kailan mo ng gusto, sige na siya kapalhin.
Oo.
Okay, depende man lang sa kung paano sa convenient for you. So when it is convenient for you, you do it. But when it's not convenient for you, then it can be delayed. And sometimes when we keep delaying it ends up na wala na siya makagaan o ng panahon.
That is my realization. So that's why, ito nang mind ko, I'll do it this time talaga. This time. And then, in the evening, 4 o'clock in the morning and sa afternoon. Cannot be late because sometimes sleepy already. Ganun time ko kailangan have to be specific. But sometimes there are also other things na may schedule na puntahan ka, madali ka ng dating, maaga ka mag-alis. Kaya, hindi siya ma-remark permanent. If I have visitors, offset.
Yeah. Kung let's say, dili avoid na doon ay disruption. If it happens from time to time, it's okay lang. You can substitute that for another time, with another time. Pero kung habitually, sige siya mawala, then there's something wrong about this schedule. Maybe you should, again, look for another slot. Hindi good na siya miss out. Hindi siya mawala. So from time to time, maano siya, ma-discourage is fine. That is understandable. But if it becomes habitually changed or discarded, then you have to look for another time slot na dili siya mawala. Dili siya mailisan o papulihan. So again, it's part of our realism and also the exercise of common sense. If it doesn't really work for us in this particular slot, then maybe there's another way to explore as a replacement for that which doesn't work for you. So look for a realistic replacement so that you're able to really render justice to your practice.
Right, kaya gamit timer.
Okay na, magkakaroon ko na.
Magdodoon. Kung
Gamit ko
pala 10 minutes.
Gamit ko alarm. May problema. But you see, you will realize, regular kang meditate, more than I can turn an alarm that will tell you 20 minutes na. And you try it, but if you have meditate literally, and you have developed the rhythm and the pattern, and there's a certain interior harmony, you will know that time is up. Even if you check the watch, you will see that it matches your instinct na your 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes is over. Kaya na-develop naman din mo ang rhythm. Nakuha na din mo ang rhythm, ang pattern, ang habit. So it's all right to use an alarm to remind you that time is up or the meditation period is should end. Okay. We need to prepare for mass right away so we can finish by latest 4:30. And we will already anticipate the mass for tomorrow.